One of the reasons why we looked at getting into hops was because of what was happening with commodities in Nebraska today. My husband's a third-generation row crop farmer, and we started to look at different things that we could grow as opposed to just corn and beans. Part of our market research showed that craft brewing, with the craze that was going on with craft brewing, the brewers needed to have hops to support that. So they also wanted to have local ingredients. So in addition to the trade shows and conferences that we went to, we also did some marketing analysis to support the efforts that we were putting into place. They're saying that craft brewing continues to grow in the numbers. The regular beer that we were all used to drinking when we were growing up, like Budweiser and Miller's and Coors, the younger generation doesn't have the allegiance to those beers that we did. They want to see where their ingredients come from. They want to be able to create new recipes. They want to be able to be a part of what is going on with the brewing. We started last year with 2.5 acres and 23 varieties to see what would grow well in the state, what's disease resistant, pest resistant, and drought resistant. We're also very interested in expanding the growth throughout the state of Nebraska and different regions that we have. We believe that hops will grow really well in the Panhandle area because they don't have the humidity that we have, but we also found great results with some of the varieties here in the eastern part of the state. The process for harvesting is that we actually take some of our wet hops in through the Water Sciences Department. We've been working with Dan Snow. They're able to take the wet hops and give us feedback on the alphas and the betas. The alphas and the betas are the most important part of the hop, and that's what the brewers use to identify the IBUs for brewing in their recipes. Then we would go ahead and cut the binds. We'd get them run through the harvester. There's a 7 to 10 day window when those hops are optimal for their alphas and betas. Once we know that we've in that window, we will go ahead and get our schedule together. We start early in the morning because once the hops are cut, there's a short amount of time. They're 80% water and they start to oxidize very fast. So you really have to have your team ready. You've got to have your harvesting equipment ready, and you also have to have your drying equipment ready. But the equipment that you'll see today would be used for a small grower. The Wolf 170 can support 15 acres in a harvest season. And then we are also working on a prototype dryer that we have with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln that has an academic research and development grant tied to it. And we are using the prototype this harvest, and then we're hoping to commercialize that piece of equipment next year. One of the biggest challenges that we found with growing hops from a small scale is the equipment barrier. There's not a lot of equipment for small harvesters or small dryers. And that's one of the reasons why we're partnering with the university on trying to see if we can help support new growers with smaller equipment. Here at the hop yard, we have 23 varieties that we put in that are public, and then we also have 3 wild hop varieties that we have found here in the state of Nebraska. The challenge with having different varieties is they all come to harvest at different times, so to try to coordinate all those varieties can be somewhat challenging. But the reason why we have all the varieties is because we wanted to see what grows well in the state, what's disease resistant, pest resistant, and drought resistant. And what the Nebraska brewers have told us is, don't tell us what you can grow, tell us what grows well here in the state. Because if you can grow it well here, we'll adapt our recipes or come up with recipes that fit the varieties that you're able to grow.